reality of wrestling, the flagship of Texas wrestling.
You just can't see it anywhere else.
This 15 feet in the air. Brian Keith from up top. Oh, look at this. Oh, my God.
Will testify.
Oh, connect flush.
Look at you did that. Boom.
A week removed from the Reality of Wrestling Tag Team Championship Tournament. We've got a lot to talk about and a lot of action on hand. Matt Topolsky and Brad Gilmore for the Reality of Wrestling. And Brad, first of all, Team Death Bear, still Tag Team Champions.
Hey, they are the most dominant team in the Tag Team division here in Reality of Wrestling. They're the Patriots. They're the Patriots of the row. They cannot lose, and they're the champs. And hats off to them.
Well, Brad, let's talk about our main event this week on the Reality of Wrestling. This is one of the biggest matches I think we will see all year here at the Reality of Wrestling, and certainly a main event that could headline any place in the world. ACH, the international star that comes from New Japan Pro Wrestling, will face Rex Andrews with the Reality of Wrestling Texas Heavyweight Championship up for grabs.
Well, you know, ACH is a Texas native, and this is what I want to tell you. We don't say this too often here on Reality of Wrestling, but I think this is Rex Andrews' match. I really think this guy has all the elements that Rex Andrews possesses, and he might be the first one we see to take that Texas Championship off Rex Andrews. But it's not going to be an easy task for either man.
No, it's not. And speaking of something that won't be an easy task, let's also talk about Brian Keith going one-on-one with Nomak this week on the Reality of Wrestling. A few weeks ago, he cost Brian Keith an opportunity to get back that Reality of Wrestling TV title that's eluded him for some months. What is Brian Keith going to have to do to overcome the monster of Legion?
He's going to have to pray. That's all I can say. He's going to have to pray. This Nomak is a monster. He's a big guy. He's a powerful guy. He's an aggressive guy. And he's a guy who's a little bit brainwashed by Sean Hendricks to do one thing only, and that's destroy him.
Well, we're going to start off the action this week here on the Reality of Wrestling with the debut of Brock Baker.
Oh.
Allow me to introduce myself. My name is Brock Baker. Custom made, custom paid, and custom fitted. Long limousines and fast jets, big bottom queens, and cashing fat checks. These are just a few of the things that describe exactly what I'm about. So put everyone on the roster on notice. I'm here for the money.
Could it be? Oh my God.
DP! DP! It's not. Can it be?
Well, Brock Baker doesn't seem to know who the boogeyman is. He could be the only person in the arena unaware of who the boogeyman is. But what is the boogeyman doing in the World Gym Arena?
I think he's coming to get Brock Baker. Brock Baker said he's coming to get some money. Boogeyman's coming to get him. Boogeyman's stalking his prey.
Well, you're going to have to excuse me, but I think I'm going to back up here just a little bit.
Hey. We don't want any problems. The Boogeyman right here in front of us, looking as scary and as intimidating as ever, like the culmination of your worst nightmares, and in some cases, your best dreams. The Freddy Krueger of fighting. The Jason Voorhees of the square circle. It's the Boogeyman.
Well, this is a heck of a way for Brock Baker to make his Reality of Wrestling debut.
Uh-oh, wait a minute. Wait a minute. Boogeyman is here. And Brock Baker looks like he doesn't want any part of the Boogeyman. Uh-oh. Boogeyman's got him by the throat.
Oh, no.
Wait a minute. And here it goes. Oh, slam. You count to infinity. The match never even started. The Boogeyman, before the match starts, lays out Brock Baker. Will Boogeyman make it short work of Brock Baker?
Well, ladies and gentlemen, every couple of months we are privileged to see the Boogeyman. Well, not Brock Baker, obviously. And now he will return to whatever dark lair he crawled out of.
Okay, so this is Kylie Ray because I'm gonna tell you something, but close your eyes. Close your eyes, I'll show you. Close your eyes. Okay, ready? Doesn't it sound like a unicorn is coming? But no, I got a better surprise for you. Okay, open your eyes. This was Miranda. So she's got the red hair, and then we're both wearing red, and I ordered room service, so we got chicken wings.
Oh, hey! Hey, girl. Nice to see you. Welcome back. It's been a while. You remember Kylie, right? Hey, Kylie, you remember me?
Hey, Kylie.
Nice to see you. What brings you back?
You know, ever since I've been gone, Kylie's been the most dominant diamond here at Reality of Wrestling. And we've never gotten to face each other. So, I want that title shot. I'm gonna get that. My title.
Tonight's Reality of Wrestling Rewind is brought to you by the King of Solar Screens, home of the $50 any size solar screen.
Heard the hype. We've heard the hype. But can ACH live up to the hype, especially against Aiden Cristiano? Wow.
Oh!
Wow.
What extension there from ACH, cover! Kick out at 2. Very imaginative performer, and if he's given the opportunity here in this matchup tonight, we could see some high-risk expertise from ACH, but right now, it really looks like Aiden Cristiano is sticking to that ground and pound philosophy.
Well, let me tell you this. My personal feelings about ACH aside, like I said, the man's obviously a great athlete, a great competitor, and a great pro wrestler.
Oh!
Look at him. Wow. That's incredible. That really is incredible. He's got incredible athleticism. And you know, Aiden Cristiano's been rising up the ranks here in reality wrestling. A big win for him over ACH might put him in line for the Texas champion.
Oh, and ACH just took off Aiden Cristiano's head with that running lariat. This young man has just kicked it into 7th gear.
You know, you have to wonder, I said, if a big win over ACH for Aiden Cristiano might put him in line for that Texas championship.
Oh, and a brain buster suplex. That is gonna be all. ACH now climbing to the top. Could he hit it? Midnight Star, he got all of it. Cover, 1, 2, successful debut.
That was impressive.
Ladies and gentlemen, your winner, ACA!
You wanna know how you make an impact at the Reality of Wrestling, Brad Gilmore? You defeat one of the longest tenured veterans here, the way ACH just did. Extremely impressive debut from the international star and one of the hottest free agents in pro wrestling.
It's a rare condition.
ACH. What's going on, man?
Man, Terrell, how you doing?
Good.
You was gonna sit down anyway. Have a seat. Have a
That's
seat.
true.
Have a seat. This your world. I'm just living in it.
Yeah, you are. So, I see you got Rex tonight.
I do.
Just a little advice.
Okay.
Don't take this as a match, man. When you get in there with Rex, it's a fight.
Well, I respect your advice, and I'll take it in for consideration. But I just want you to know that I've been around the world. Still can't find my baby. But I think she may be here. And it happens to be that title he wears around his waist. So I got a match to prepare for tonight. My man, now back to my family matters. It's a rare condition this day and age. Really good.
Brian Keith, I know that you think that I wouldn't have been able to finish the job without Nomek. Now, while that may not be the case at the moment, you apparently want Nomek 1 one-on-one. And that I strongly advise against that. For the sake of your own future, I advise against that.
Introducing first, from Greenpoint, Texas, weighing in at 208 pounds, Brian Keith.
Well, the Lone Ranger of the Row has entered the World Gym Arena, but let's take a look back a few weeks ago when Brian Keith was moments away from becoming the #1 contender for the Reality of Wrestling Championship, and the monster of the demonic collective Legion, known as Nomak, cost Brian Keith the match. Oh, wait a minute. Oh, Nomak!
Oh. Nomak taking out Brian Keith.
Hendricks gets turned. Could be a mistake. Hendricks hangover on the way, and he hit it. Shawn Hendricks cover 1, 2. Shawn Hendricks is the #1 contender. And that is exactly what brings us to this match this week here on the Reality of Wrestling. Brian Keith has a bounty, and it has Nomak's face on it.
Representing Legion from parts unknown, weighing in at nearly 300 pounds, Nomak.
We have seen some very strange and unusual and uncanny figures and characters and personalities that have come from the realm and the mind of Shawn Hendricks and Legion. But this could be the most devastating and dangerous force to ever subscribe to the calendar of the Julian year. It is Nomak.
Very well said, TP. And right now, Brian Keith is a guy that you really can't count out that much. He's been an amazing competitor, television champion, one of the longest rating we've ever had. But Nomak he's a brute force. He's a blunt instrument. Look at the size difference here. Those kicks that normally would chop a man down barely even, look, they're barely even having any effect.
Nomak is the type of competitor that you can't go around, you can't jump over. You have to go through him. Many have tried, all have failed. What will Brian Keith's strategy need to be, Brad Gilmore, in order for him to be successful here?
Well, first thing he's got to do, he's got to overcome the size differential. You know, the bigger the man, the slower the man most of the time. So Brian Keith's going to have to use that quickness, that agility, that ability that he has, and those fast kicks to try to chop the big man down. And he's doing a good job of it.
Of course, as stated at the outset, this matchup, a product of Nomak interfering in that #1 contenders match for the TV title some weeks ago. It really fired up Brian Keith. He demanded this matchup tonight. Missile drop kick off the top rope, cover here. But a kick out at 2. Nomak swatting Brian Keith away like a fly.
Oh, kick to the thighs. Nomak, big clubbing blow to the back of Brian Keith.
You notice something very interesting, Brad Gilmore. Nomak not flanked by Legion out here tonight because, quite frankly, the numbers game really doesn't mean anything to Nomak. He's been able to handle these situations on his own. He is one heck of an asset for Shawn Hendricks.
Hey.
Oh, look at that strength out of the corner. Cover here. That's got to be all. And Brian Keith just barely kicks out.
Hey, Nomak is a numbers game. I mean, facing him is like facing the strength of 3 men anyway. I mean, like I said, he's just a blunt instrument. He's brute force. Look at him, just yanking back on the hair.
Looks like he's trying to tear Brian Keith's head off his shoulders. And we have seen Brian Keith against some stiff competition, including his very memorable rivalry with Rex Andrews. But this, as you stated, is blunt force. This is a whole new game that Brian Keith has in front of him here.
Absolutely. I mean, he hadn't faced anybody like this. Oh, wow.
Brian Keith head first into that turnbuckle. Now a head of steam here. Oh my goodness! Driving that knee into the temple. And that's gotta be all. Brian Keith could be out cold right here. Don't go anywhere. This match will continue after a short break. He has been exhausted very early in this matchup by the power and strength and no mercy attitude of Nomak. Kick to the temple coming back from Brian Keith. And a flying knee from Nomak. Hooks the leg, center of the ring again. Kick out at 2.5. Brian Keith is in trouble.
Brian Keith is not doing well. And Nomak is fired up, and he's ready to take him out. Brian Keith looking like he's in a world of hurt right now, and Nomak really just has him right where he wants him. He's playing with him. He's toying with him at this point.
As the old expression goes, be careful what you wish for. This was Brian Keith's decision. He demanded this match. And I have all the respect in the world for Brian Keith, as does the Row Nation. He's one of the finest competitors we've ever had here. Held that Reality of Wrestling Television Championship for a year. But this is a different animal.
Well, look, I mean, smart move by Brian Keith getting up on the second turnbuckle so he can actually be over. He can actually be taller than Nomak, I should say. Big Nomak.
Brian Keith doing everything he can right now to get the big man off his feet. Reversal, Irish whip here, ducks underneath, and Brian Keith with his first offensive maneuver in this matchup in minutes. We want to remind everyone at home, still to come in our main event, the Texas Heavyweight title is up for grabs. Rex Andrews defends against ACH. Don't go anywhere, because that is going to be live. Right now, the strength of Nomak, just too much for Brian Keith.
Left and right hands really broken down, and now Nomak's on one knee. Brian Keith's got to take advantage of this moment. Oh! And that big overhand.
Oh! Connected flush, that could be all! Brian Keith thought he had 3. 2 3/4. Nomak was on his knees and almost out. And Brian Keith delivered that big kick to the face. Can Brian Keith stay on the offensive? And now the biggest and fastest kicks in the South on display. Keith is trying to go through Nomak, Brad.
He's trying. He's being somewhat successful until Nomak catches you like this and then goes like
You've got to be kidding me! Cover here! Free! Nomak has just defeated the former TV champion!
Ladies and gentlemen, your winner, Nomak!
I don't know what you call that, but that was absolutely devastating.
Hey, I'm not going to say that I'm surprised, honestly. I mean, look at the size of Nomak. The guy went in there, he did what he does. He outpowered Brian Keith for that victory, and he let the former champ land.
It is very rare that we see a bounty go uncollected. But as it stands right now, Nomak has gotten the better of Brian Keith. Very, very impressive.
Row Nation, ACH quite possibly could be facing his biggest challenge to date as he takes on Rex Andrews for the Texas Championship in tonight's main event. Rex, ACH tonight.
No, Chris Russo, it's all about phrasing, and I love the way you phrase that. ACH is facing his biggest competition in me, Texas champion. See, ACH is without a doubt a world-class athlete. I mean, he's traveled all over the world, from Japan, the UK, all over the United States. He's had this huge buzz around him for this last year, right? And he's absolutely world class. And to be honest with you, I'm excited, Chris. You know, to have ACH as an ambassador for my brand is, I mean, it's going to be invaluable. I mean, you think about it, Chris, when, you know, he calls himself the King of Texas. Now, when ACH travels all around the world again, and when he goes back to Japan, he goes back to the UK and all around the United States, and they ask him what happened in Texas City. So why couldn't the King of Texas beat the Texas champion? What happened, ACH? What happened, Mr. Attitude, Charisma, Heart? How did you let Rex Andrews take your arm? I mean, he's going to have to tell everyone what everyone here already knows. So Rex Andrews is just too good.
Bartek, can we get a quick question with you?
Yeah.
So we finally have you alone, no Cameron by your side, so we can bash you.
Yeah.
What's going on with the Cool? Is there dissension? Is there a split? What's going on?
Well, this is how I know I'm a star, because finally you guys come and talk to me. Dissension? No, absolutely not. Everything is fine with me and Cameron. Everything is great. We hashed things out last week. There's no dissension here. Did you watch the tag team tournament last week?
Yeah, I did.
Did you see those matches?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Oh, yeah.
There's no doubt that if Cameron Cole was healthy, if his arm wasn't hurt, the Cool would have won that tournament and been tag team champions. But now Cameron's healthy because I pretty much saved his career by throwing in the towel. We're going to go win those tag team championships.
Thanks, Bartek.
It should be a wall built in the middle of the Pacific, all the way from Fiji to Hawaii and beyond, to make sure none of these suckers come off the coast of Australia.
Australia, I mean, what do they have to offer besides a blooming onion? Nothing. A country, a continent.
We're here from Rob Barnes, missile drop
Come
kick.
on.
From Australia to Houston, Texas.
You, Potowski.
Just what you tell me, Steve.
He doesn't know anything about it. I mean, Stevie Ray Incorporated represents greatness. Everyone you've ever signed to a contract has gone on to win gold in reality wrestling.
That's right, and I appreciate those sentiments. Don't be like this guy.
Those are facts, unlike his alternative
With the
facts.
exception of Abel Andrew Jackson, of course.
What?
We just signed him. Give him a second. When Stevie Ray walked into reality wrestling the very first night, his first client held a reality wrestling.
Oh, a very impressive move there from Rob Barnes and Stevie Ray. Wait a minute, Stevie Ray has left the commentating table, and of course, once again getting physically involved in the match.
The referee.
Oh, and Rob Barnes just struck Stevie Ray.
You can't do that.
You want to talk about asking for it? And wait a minute, here comes Team Deathmare. It's absolute bedlam at ringside. Oh, hell is broken loose.
He just smacked greatness.
He was getting physically involved in the match yet again. And what was a 2-on-1 gang assault just a few weeks ago has now turned to 3-on-1, possibly 4-on-1. Rob Barnes is in no man's land, and he is being taken apart by Stevie Ray Incorporated. This has got to come to an end. How could you or anybody else endorse this?
Well, Stevie Ray was provoked. He was struck by Rob Barnes. And now look at greatness. Team Death Bear, the tag team champions, a future champion in Abel Andrew Jackson, and greatness in Stevie Ray.
For the second time in as many weeks, Stevie Ray and his clients have torn apart Rob Barnes.
Rob Barnes. You seem to be going somewhere. Where are you going?
Yeah. I'm going to the airport. I'm getting out.
Where are you going?
Home, Australia. Sunny, beautiful Sydney, Australia. That's where I'm going.
When will you be back?
You know what? I don't know.
Do you have any timeline at all?
Row Nation, the match has been signed. Next week in our main event, you will witness the thoroughbred Sean Studd going up against El Campeon for the Reality of Wrestling Championship. Gino, the match has been signed, and you will deliver next week in the main event. Your thoughts on going up against the 300-pound giant?
Russo, let's talk about something. You know, last time that I held this championship, I got to strip it away from me. Why? Because I wasn't acting like a champion, because I wasn't representing the company like a champion. I admit it, might have been right. But this time around, I'm setting examples why I am El Campeón here. I'm setting examples why I am the top campeón here. Why I am El Campeón de Campeones. Set my example last month. So laid out J.J. Blake straight in the ground. So I gave him a scarlet letter. And this time around, what would I do? I'm going to lay out a 300-pounder, the thoroughbred stud, Sean Studd. Because I beat him before. And this time around, I don't need no help. I don't need no titans to help me. This time, I'm going to lay them out. Hand delivered him a scarlet letter. And I will show why yo soy el campeón de campeones. Porque yo soy el fino, divino, Gino, el intocable.
Tonight's episode of The Row is brought to you by Walker Texas Lawyer at WalkerTexasLawyer.com. Hilton Furniture, let him have it. The king of solar screens, home of the $50 any size solar screen. Welcome back to the Reality of Wrestling. Matt Topolsky alongside Brad Gilmore and the Row Nation. And Brad, we have a side note for everybody at home. Next week, a blockbuster edition of the Reality of Wrestling with 2 championships up for grabs, the Diamonds Division title, and Sean Studd will finally get his long-awaited shot at the Reality of Wrestling Championship when he takes on the Latin heartthrob Gino.
Those are big matches. You know I love the Diamonds Division and Gino with his biggest challenge yet. I'm so excited for next week.
But coming up next, since returning to the Reality of Wrestling over a year ago, Rex Andrews has been a human wrecking machine, but he's never seen an opponent like ACH before. It's ACH versus Rex Andrews for the Texas Heavyweight Championship. Your prediction and thoughts?
My prediction is, look, you gotta bet. You gotta bet on a winner. And Rex Andrews has shown us nothing but win since he returned to Reality of Wrestling. And I gotta go, even though with great talent is ACH, I gotta go with Rex Andrews, the defending champion.
It's the most dangerous element in Texas versus pro wrestling's hottest free agent. It's ACH versus Rex Andrews for the Texas Heavyweight title, and it's right now.
From Austin, Texas, weighing in at 280 pounds,
one of the hottest free agents in pro wrestling, an international superstar, and a man who made his debut here at the Row a few weeks ago with a very impressive victory over Aiden Cristiano. Ladies and gentlemen, from the Tokyo Dome to the World Gym Arena, ACH is in the building. His resume speaks for itself, from New Japan Pro Wrestling to the Lucha Libre World Cup. ACH has been impressive all over the world, and now he will face Rex Andrews for the Texas Heavyweight Championship in our main event.
His opponent from Belton, Alabama, weighing in at 210 pounds, he is the reigning Texas champion, Rex Andrews.
Once the most dangerous element in the Row, now the most dangerous element in Texas, the taker of arms, the taker of titles. Ladies and gentlemen, the Texas Heavyweight Champion is in the building, and Rex Andrews will take on all comers and all challengers, and this will certainly be one of the most fantastic challengers he has or will ever face. What a main event.
Here we go. This is what I've been waiting for. You know, I think these two might be the most evenly matched in reality wrestling. And Rex Andrews finally, I think, has met somebody who skill-wise might actually be at his level. No disrespect to anybody else, but Rex Andrews, he's a machine. He's a wrestling machine. He sees people's moves. He sees their strategies well before they even know what they're going to do. ACH is a little unorthodox. He's a little bit different than most of the competitors that Rex Andrews has faced for that Texas Championship.
Rex Andrews' bread and butter strategy is always to grab that arm and snap. It's going to be very hard for him to get his hands on that arm and hold. ACH, an incredible high-risk expert, makes his money coming off that top rope. Does some very uncanny and unusual things inside the squared circle. You say unorthodox, absolutely. I say imagination. And that's one of the words that really describes his work inside the squared circle. It is interesting, however, because a few weeks ago when he made his debut here at Reality of Wrestling, you were a bit sour on ACH. What did he do, or what did he show you in that match with Aiden Cristiano that changed your mind, Brad?
Well, you know what? I mean, I was sour on ACH because I was like, this guy's a Texas native, and it takes him to go all around the world before he comes to the flagship of Texas wrestling. But he did show me that he's got heart, he's got strength, he's got ability, he's got talent. The guy is talented. You know, whether you like him in or out of the ring or not, the guy is talented. And I think that's kind of what changed my viewpoint on the guy. And you know, he really took Aiden Cristiano to the limit, and he defeated a veteran, a crafty veteran like Aiden Cristiano.
ACH also began his illustrious professional wrestling career right here in the state of Texas. Oh my goodness,
he's got that arm.
That.
He's got that arm. He's got that arm. ACH trying to roll through it, breaks it. And here we go.
Ladies and gentlemen,
we have a match.
Do not blink. This is a match that could headline any venue in the world. You can only see it right here on the Reality of Wrestling. The Texas Heavyweight Championship is up for grabs, and use that hashtag #RowOnCW. It's ACH versus Rex Andrews. What did that initial square off between those two tell you, Brad?
That told me that these guys are more evenly matched than I thought they were. These guys have definitely maybe been in the same place.
Oh, and what a drop kick! Connects flush. A little flair, a lot of imagination, and then some for ACH. Don't go anywhere because the Reality of Wrestling rolls on after this break. Both of these athletes with incredible resumes they have built over the last few years.
Look at that. Another, enziguri into a hurricanrana by ACH. Rex Andrews taking a breather on the outside.
On the outside. This is something we don't see very often, and that's Rex Andrews taking a breather. ACH over the top to the outside, missed his mark, and Rex Andrews.
Watch out.
Oh my goodness, you've got to be kidding me.
Wow.
Is this Reality of Wrestling or the Matrix?
Is this reality? Incredible move by ACH right there.
Rex Andrews tried to throw ACH face first into that pole. This time he does connect. But a moment ago, defying gravity. This is why we are the flagship of Texas wrestling.
Here we go. This fight is taken to the outside. This is the Texas Championship. I don't like when they come by our table, TP. It scares me, I'm going to be honest with you.
And I'll tell you something, Brad. Rex Andrews seemed to have taken that reversal a few minutes ago personally.
But now, do you notice he's kicking, stomping on that left arm of ACH, and now ACH is favoring that left arm, holding it close to his body. You know, Rex Andrews, the shark.
One of ACH's signature maneuvers has won him a lot of matches around the world. Is that Big Bang Attack Cradle DDT. Going to be very hard to hook that in if he only has one good arm.
He's always going to go up top, look for that 450.
One of the things, I believe you've pointed this out time and time again in many of the great main events we've called, that makes great fights is contrasting styles. That is exactly what we have here, Brad.
Yeah, styles makes fights. You got a guy who likes to jump around. He likes to fly around. He likes to be unorthodox in ACH. And then you got Rex Andrews, a guy who likes to take you down, keep you down, and tap you out. ACH big knife edge chop. Oh! Down to that left arm again.
Rex Andrews going for the cover here. Quick cover to retain the title. Kick out at 2. ACH no stranger to the big stage, but this would be a monumental moment in his career and only his second match in Reality of Wrestling if he were to defeat Rex Andrews, someone who you've called a machine, and I have to absolutely 100% agree. That's the perfect way to describe Rex Andrews, his style, and his accomplishments over the last year and a half here.
And look at that. Working now on that bicep, that left bicep of ACH.
ACH, yeah.
Big fight field, a big money fight. Rex Andrews will face any competitor from any promotion or any region of the world. And you're seeing it right now.
Rex Andrews has constantly defended that championship since he's won. At one stretch of time, he defended the championship 7 days in a row. Every single night, a different competitor.
We invite everyone at home to use that hashtag RowOnCW when talking about this high-stakes main event.
Both men, though, feeling the effects of this match. ACH just dropping to his knees.
Well, both of them came sprinting out of the gate early here. I think both had a similar strategy of trying to end this thing quickly. Whoa. My goodness, ducks underneath. Can you believe what we're seeing here? And now a coup de grace to the back right there. Then a shot to the tip. ACH began his career here in Texas. You know it would mean a lot to him to capture that Texas Heavyweight Championship. He would be the first to defeat Rex Andrews. Cover here to win the title. Kick out at 2.
Kick out at 2. ACH gonna have to do a little bit more than that to take down the Texas champion, Rex Andrews. Crowd. It's almost like you and I. We're just so taken aback by what we're seeing right now. It's so well matched up.
It's very rare, and it's a great privilege to be able to sit at ringside and call or watch a moment like this. You have 2 professional athletes. Great cover here. Could be all.
With a pin.
Kick out at 2 3/4. A great privilege to see 2 athletes at the pinnacle, at that stage of their career where they're beginning to experience the peak of their powers, if you will. And that's what we are seeing between ACH and Rex Andrews right now with the Reality of Wrestling Texas Heavyweight Championship hanging in the balance. And listen, Rex Andrews isn't the only person that's made the argument, Brad, that the Texas Heavyweight Championship is actually a more important title than the Reality of Wrestling Championship. I'm not saying I agree, but Rex Andrews keeps making a strong case.
He makes a strong case, and now ACH making a strong case for being the Texas champion. Flores up to count of 3.
Reminder for everybody at home, this is not a no disqualification match. Oh my goodness, springboard over the top. ACH connects, but some damage was done to his rib cage as well. These 2 sacrificing their own mind, bodies, and souls for this title.
Oh, Rex taking a breather, being smart. Wait a minute.
Rex Andrews. Oh my goodness, look at that incredible cutoff.
Wow.
He turns ACH in half cover here to retain the title. That is 2 at 99%.
Rex Andrews, his timing, his execution is flawless, is perfect. He timed that just the right moment to take ACH's
and now he
head
goes
off.
with that arm bar.
Here we go, looking for an arm bar.
ACH has him scouted, however. Rex Andrews trying to go back into it again. Scoop slam reversal. And now look at this. Rex Andrews attempting a Kimura lock here.
Rex Andrews got to do what he has to do to get the job done.
Get down from there.
Oh, man. Attacking that left arm again.
Rex Andrews perched on that second rope. Oh, and that was bad news. That was bad news, and he lost twice.
Wow.
What are we witnessing here in our main event?
We're witnessing a very, very great contest between two athletes who are superior. Rex Andrews somehow gets a pin for a second there, now picks up ACH and a big European uppercut to ACH. Oh, man.
ACH is standing toe-to-toe with Rex Andrews and trading blows. Not something that you may have expected when this match started. But he is in this thing, and he has a real chance to become the next Texas heavyweight champion. Clothesline, look at that incredible bridge. Inhuman things we are watching from ACH right now. Picks him up, suplex. He calls that a brainbuster cover.
Oh, and he
my
kicked out.
goodness, another kick out.
Another kick out right there by Rex Andrews after ACH delivered that brainbuster DDT
Absolutely
that we saw
incredible. And now he's going to the top rope, perhaps looking for that Midnight Star 450 splash. He could become the next Texas heavyweight champion. Oh, but he missed the mark. Talk about a crash landing. Rex puts that right arm and now goes to work into the arm bar center of the ring.
That's gotta be all. That's gotta be all. ACH is tapping out.
Your winner by submission and still Texas champion, Rex Andrews.
Ladies and gentlemen, hats off to two of the finest athletes in professional wrestling today. But Rex Andrews, once again, as he seems to do week in and week out, has proven that he is the top man in Texas. Still your Texas heavyweight champion. The taker of arms, the taker of titles, Rex Andrews. Doesn't seem to know who the boogeyman is. He could be the only person in the arena unaware of who the boogeyman is. But what is the boogeyman doing in the World Gym Arena?
I think he's coming to get Brock Baker. Brock Baker said he's coming to get some money. Boogeyman's coming to get him. Boogeyman stalking his prey.
Well, you're going to have to excuse me, but I think I'm going to back up here just a little bit.
Hey, we don't want any problems. The Boogeyman right here in front of us, looking as scary and as intimidating as ever, like the culmination of your worst nightmares, and in some cases, your best dreams. Freddy Cougar of fighting.
Brian Keith going one-on-one with Nomak this week on The Reality of Wrestling. A few weeks ago, he cost Brian Keith an opportunity to get back that Reality of Wrestling TV title that's eluded him for some months. What is Brian Keith going to have to do to overcome the monster of Legion?
He's going to have to pray. That's all I can say. He's going to have to pray. This Nomak is a monster. He's a big guy. He's a powerful guy. He's an aggressive guy. And he's a guy who's a little bit brainwashed by Sean Hendricks to do one thing only, and that's destroy him.
Well, we're going to start off the action this week here on The Reality of Wrestling with the debut of Brock Baker.
Oh.
Allow me to introduce myself. My name is Brock Baker. Custom made, custom.
It's like they're the Patriots. They're the Patriots of the row. They cannot lose, and they're the champs, and hats off to them.
Well, Brad, let's talk about our main event this week on The Reality of Wrestling. This is one of the biggest matches I think we will see all year here at The Reality of Wrestling, and certainly a main event that could headline any place in the world. ACH, the international star that comes from New Japan Pro Wrestling, will face Rex Andrews with The Reality of Wrestling Texas Heavyweight Championship up for grabs.
Well, you know, ACH is a Texas native, and this is what I want to tell you. We don't say this too often here on Reality of Wrestling, but I think this is Rex Andrews' match. I really think this guy has all the elements that Rex Andrews possesses, and he might be the first one we see to take that Texas championship off Rex Andrews, but it's not going to be an easy task for either man.
No, it's not. And speaking of something that won't be an easy task, let's also talk about Brock.
Oh my goodness, a Davidson driver. And you know what comes next, Brad?
455.
The reality of wrestling, the flagship of Texas wrestling.
You just can't see it anywhere else.
This 15 feet in the air. Brian takes him up top. Oh, look at this. Oh my God.
Will testify. Now can you dig that? Boom.
A week removed from the Reality of Wrestling Tag Team Championship Tournament, we've got a lot to talk about and a lot of action on hand. Matt Topolsky and Brad Gilmore for the Reality of Wrestling. And Brad, first of all, Team Death Bear, still Tag Team Champions.
Hey, they are the most dominant team in the tag team division here in Reality of Wrestling.
Paid and custom fitted. Long limousines and fast jets, big bottom queens and cashing fat checks. These are just a few of the things that describe exactly what I'm about. So put everyone on the roster on notice. I'm here for the money.